Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from Hy-Vee, our Hy-Vee expertise dietitian, and so much more. Amy is back. Amy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jeremy. Thanks. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful and so excited to talk about grilling, one of my favorite things to do year round. Yep, I'm one of those crazy nuts that's out there in the wintertime still grilling it up. So anytime is good time for grilling, but summer grilling is where it's at. And you have a great lineup today of great ideas, a little bit of safety. We've got it all for you. So first and foremost, when we're thinking about grilling and dieting, coming together, it could be a little bit like, oh, but I want to cook the meats, but I know I should eat better. What do you say to those folks?
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think, as a dietitian, we're always coming at things from the lens of let's keep it balanced, make sure we're getting our fruits and vegetables in. And actually grilling is a great way to do that because there's so many ways you can incorporate fruits and vegetables with those, especially if you're grilling meats, lots of different things you can do. So, some of the things I love to do are making like a fruit salsa, fresh fruit salsa. You can just top right over a piece of grilled like chicken or fish, goes great, even pork. I really like doing things like chimichurri sauce, which is a fresh herb-based sauce. Again, it's going to add that really fresh flavor to that piece of grilled meat. So you can still have your grilled meat as the base and then just kind of find those creative ways to add in your different fruits and vegetables so you're still getting that balanced plate.
And specifically looking at choosing the meats, because that to me is, I'm always like, all right, what's the protein? Let's line it up. But you can pick some healthy options to grill, and like you said, the options are endless.
Yeah, absolutely. And really from a health standpoint, the main thing what I would recommend when you're choosing that meat is just trying to choose a leaner or lower fat protein. Really, and what that's going to do is just going to help keep the saturated fat down, which is, something that we consider for heart health and just overall health in general. So really, once you kind of have that in mind, you can still pick a huge variety of things, things like chicken breasts, pork chops, fish and seafood are very lean, and even steak. If you like steak, you could go with like a sirloin, or a flank steak or something like that. All are going to be really great lean choices.
And I mean, you could pick on the portion size too. I mean, you don't have to eat the whole steak, but we'll dive into that a different segment on portion control. I have a problem with that one. I do like some other options here. You talk about doing the kebabs. We can't leave out grilling pineapple either. I mean, that is amazing. If you haven't tried that, that's where it's at.
Yes, absolutely. And actually, to your point about portion size, something like a kebab is a great thing to do because it's a way to balance out that portion of meat, just add a little bit more vegetables to that kebab. And, kebabs, you could do bell peppers, tomatoes, you could even do pineapple cubes. You could do lots of different things that way. I like the idea of grilling pineapple rings. Tossing them on the grill is really going to help bring out a little bit different flavor, and then just put them on a burger, use them as a topping as a burger.
I can't say I've ever had pineapple on a burger, but after seeing this today, I am definitely going to try it because I love exotic burgers for sure. All right, let's turn to some food safety tips because, grilling, we've taken it into our hands, I would say, more than not since COVID's hit. We've done a lot more at home, and some people have gotten sick, unfortunately, found out the hard way. But just a couple of things to keep people healthy when we're talking about food safety.
Yes. So, really one thing to keep in mind, especially if you're going to be outside. So, in July in Wisconsin, we're a lot of times north of 90 degrees. So it's important to keep temperature in mind. So really keeping your hot foods hot and keeping your cold foods cold. And so, if you're bringing sides to an outdoor grilling party, thinking things like, a potato salad, a pasta salad, any of that type of thing, really making sure you've got a good, well-inflated cooler, keeping it full of ice so that you're keeping those cold foods cold. And really, if it's, if it's, I'd say higher than 90 degrees, you really don't want your cold food out longer than an hour. So, get everybody served and then get it right back on that ice so you don't have to throw it all out.
I think anytime you think food safety in summer, you automatically go to the potato salad and sitting out in the sun. Like
Yes.
that is like
Yep.
I don't know why, but it is like the one you pick on the most, and for good reason. It's got eggs and it's got you just don't.
Mhm.
I can't even imagine. You just don't want those things. And keeping foods hot above what temperature do you recommend? So if you're thinking that buffet style picnic, what's kind of that general rule of thumb? Since most of us probably don't have, thermometer checkers for food necessarily. Maybe you
Right.
do, but what's that rule of thumb?
Yes. So a good rule of thumb for hot foods is 135. So, if it's not something that you want to necessarily think about, I would say, it's good to get in the habit of putting the food out, serving it, and eating it as quickly as possible. So then you're not having to worry so much about keeping things temp. Another thing you could do if you're near power sources, so maybe you're doing it outside at your house and you've got some outdoor outlets, you could put some of your sides in a crock pot to keep them warm. So maybe if you have like baked beans or something like that, put them in a crock pot, that'll help keep that temperature up as well.
Yeah, you don't want to get into the danger zone. And that is a
No.
true food safety piece that we've talked about on this show before. You want to stay out of that, or you're going to make a lot of people unhappy with you, including yourself, as you are sicker than you know what. All right, turning to our temperature cooking for the different meats, proteins. So important. It's so tricky too. I mean, it is. I give chefs my true blessing on how well they can cook meats because this guy is still having a hard time without poking that steak like 1,000 times to figure out, did I get it medium well? So in a general space, how do we determine those different temperatures to the meats?
Yes, and really the best way to tell is to use an actual meat thermometer. My husband can attest that I have trained him now to check it. In the beginning, he wouldn't. And I was like, please just temp it. Just please temp it for me. So now he's just in the habit. We have a digital thermometer. It's really easy. It's really the best way to tell, especially if you're not a trained chef, that you don't have all of those skills down. But really, when we're thinking about any kind of poultry, so thinking about grilling those chicken breasts, you want them to 165. If you're doing fish or pork, 145. And then for steak, anywhere from rare, which, some people do like their steak rare, anywhere from 125 all the way up to well done would be considered at that 160. So, kind of a medium steak would be about 140. So those temps, it's just good to double check so that that you've got it to that safe temperature.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be safe too. And one other thing that I've learned from doing these segments is I was one of those folks, and you're going to cringe when you hear this, Amy, but I cut into the meat to see if it was done. And that's not a good thing because you're losing all the flavor.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do that as well, especially with hamburgers. They might cut into that as well just to check the color. I mean, it's not hurting it, but yeah, you're not going to get as high quality of an outcome on that. So yeah, that little digital thermometer is a good investment, especially if you're doing a lot of grilling.
And there's a lot of choices out there, and they have come down in price significantly over the years. So I would invest in it. It's the best thing that I've invested in for at-home cooking. So it's great. All right, Amy, if people want to learn more, find ways to eat better, be healthy, or just have general questions, how can they learn more with Hy-Vee?
Best way to go is go to our website, Hy-Vee.com. And if you do Hy-Vee.com/health, you'll get to the dietitian page where you can find your local dietitian. Hy-Vee.com also has a lot of recipes. So if you're looking for maybe some new recipes to try as you start grilling, I also sent some as well. We can include here for things like grilled meats with different fruit salsas. We have a great recipe for chimichurri that I use all the time. So, be sure to check those out as well if you're looking for some new ideas.
Final question, and this one's an out of the blue one for you. What is your go-to? I'm going to grill this every single summer because I have to. What is Amy's meal?
Go-to meal. So good grilled sirloin with some grilled bell peppers and asparagus. And then even some roasted potatoes, sometimes we'll throw on the grill as well. That's kind of our go-to. If I've got a lot of time, then I'll make some fresh chimichurri to put on that steak. And it's, yeah, very, very balanced, but very delicious.
There you go. You've heard it from the expert. You got some ideas. And yes, we will share the recipes when we get this posted up, so you can check that out as well. Amy, thank you so much for the great tips. Have a good grilling season, and we'll check back in with you real soon.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you.
You bet. Check out Hy-Vee's website for more information and those great recipes. I am looking forward to trying that pineapple on a burger for sure. And that chimichurri, is that how you say it? Chimichurri? I don't want to say it wrong now. Sauce. That sounds really good as well. So check it out, and we'll look forward to having Amy back on the show real soon. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.